Well, the evacuation was suspended amid conflicting reports of armed men firing on rescue convoys. We understand that a group of buses carrying civilians to rebel-held territory west of the city was attacked. The convoy was travelling towards Rashidown through Ramusa district at the time. Syrian State TV says rebels opened fire on the convoy and launched mortar rounds. Russia says there are still radical rebels in eastern Aleppo who are ready to sabotage the ceasefire. But the rebels say it was attacked by pro-regime militias who took up to 800 hostages. Well, Abubakr al Shamahi has been following the developments from Gaziantep on the Turkish border with Syria. He joins us live now. Abubakr, lots of conflicting reports then about what's going on regarding both the ceasefire and the evacuations. What can you tell us?
Well, as you've said, conflicting reports. The first report was from the regime, and they specified that as the convoy was passing through the Ramusa district, which is one of the western Aleppo districts that's held by the regime, that it was attacked by rebels on that corridor that takes the evacuees out of the city. The rebels said that no, that people were blocking the road and that they attacked the convoy. Pro-regime fighters attacked the convoy instead and took, as you said, 800 people hostage. Now, why has this happened? We understand that the UN and Russia have specified different routes for these evacuations, which has made it fairly difficult to oversee the evacuations and ensure security along the routes. And the other thing is that it's such a tense situation that simply any bullet, anything done in the wrong way may elicit a response from the other side and can lead to circumstances as we've seen earlier on Friday.
Are there signs then of friction among pro-regime forces?
Well, a couple of days ago, so on Wednesday it appeared and Thursday it appeared that Russia was the negotiator. Russia was pushing for this deal to happen and ensure that evacuations were taking place, and the obstacle was coming from forces alongside it in its coalition. So Hezbollah and the Iranian regime, the Iranian government, the Syrian regime, seemed to be opposed to the deal at the time. We were talking about the possibility of conflict there or differences in that coalition. However, Russia's statements on Friday appear to back the regime quite forcefully. They're saying that that all the people who wish to be evacuated from eastern Aleppo have been evacuated, and that's complete, which we know is not the case. There are still people on the ground there waiting for buses to take them out. And they're also saying that the Syrian regime are now entering into Aleppo and trying to fight the last pockets of resistance in the city. So they seem to now be backing the regime completely. So different takes you can take there, a possibility of a pretense of division and maybe a good cop, bad cop scenario going on here.
Well, the claims and counterclaims continue, Abubakr. There are signs that there's going to be attempts at a diplomatic solution. The diplomacy continues. Turkey and Russia working together and announcing peace talks. What are the details?
Well, Russia and Turkey obviously represent different sides in this conflict. Russia is essentially the backer of the regime, and Turkey supports the Syrian opposition. And now they're talking about potential peace talks happening in Kazakhstan. Now, it remains to be seen, A, whether these peace talks will happen, and then most importantly, B, whether they'll be successful. You have to remember, as we've already spoken about, the possible divisions in the coalition, in the pro-regime coalition side, and perhaps Russia is pushing for a resolution to the conflict from the position of apparent victory for the regime, but perhaps some forces within the regime want to carry on and ensure that they fully defeat the rebels before any deal is made. And on the other side as well, we've got to remember that whilst we're talking about divisions within the pro-regime coalition, perhaps the Syrian opposition is even more divided. There are countless factions, countless different groups, and even if a deal is agreed upon in Kazakhstan or elsewhere, it's hard to perhaps see how that's going to be reflected on the ground in Syria itself.
Okay, Abubakr, thank you.